What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back with another video. This is interesting. The Nintendo Switch is doing well. The Nintendo Switch 2 is doing so well that Nintendo is actually telling developers to not release their new games on the Switch 2. All right. So here at Kotaku.com it says Nintendo reportedly pushing devs to release on Switch 1 instead of sharing Switch 2 dev kits. Right, so the Nintendo Switch 2 is absolutely so amazing that they're like, nope, you gotta go back. Gotta go back to the original. Yeah, man.
Hello, this is Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And make sure to subscribe to Andy Matrix's channel. Now on with the show.
I think are they realizing that they became too much of a dictator, and the people of the village, the people of the kingdoms, being the gamers, they started, they picked out their swords and pitchforks, right? They picked up their torches and marched all over to the castle. They realized we fucked up. We messed up. We gotta go back in time. It says reports indicate that Nintendo is reluctant to give devs the tools needed to make the hardware sing. All right, so it says here, thanks to reporting from our comrades over at Digital Foundry, enthusiastic interest from developers to get their games running as best as they can on the Switch 2 isn't enough. Nintendo is encouraging studios to ship their games on Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. According to John Linman on episode 228 of DF Direct Weekly, he continues. He says, there are a lot of developers that are unable to get Switch 2 developer kits, right? So I guess Nintendo's not, sending over their Switch 2 developer tools, right? It says we talked to a lot of developers at Gamescom this year, and so many of them said the same thing. They want to ship on Switch 2. They would love to do Switch 2 versions of their games. They can't get the hardware. It's really difficult. So there's two things going on, because this happened during GameCon. This happened during GameCon, my friend. Right? This happened during GameCon. Two things happened. Either Nintendo was like, you know what? We messed up with the Switch 2. We should rethink our strategy. We should rethink our console. Maybe we did something stupid. I highly doubt it, but I'm just guessing. And then the second thing that could have happened is that they're like, you know what? Let's just focus on selling our games and our games only on the Switch 2. And then let's continue to have developers put their games on the original Switch, because that's where most of the traffic is going to anyways. I think that they know that they messed up somehow. Because if you're telling developers, hey, like, if you're not even sending the developer kits to game developers, to game studios, right, then that means you don't want them to make their games for the Switch 2. I mean, don't you want more people to use your device? Unless you know that there's something wrong with your device. Unless you know that people don't want your device. Could it be that the sales numbers were not to your expectation, Nintendo? Could it be? I mean, this looks really funny. This looks really funny. Why would you not want, developers to make games for your device unless, I mean, of course, Nintendo, they might only want to just promote their stuff, like Nintendo, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Kirby, Pokemon, all that crap, right? Maybe they just want to promote their own games, their Nintendo intellectual properties, and forget about other intellectual properties. But I also think that Nintendo realizes, you know what? Yeah, we got to go back in time. And this is one of the reasons why I think, that they increased the price on the original Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch Lite and the Nintendo Switch OLED. They increased the price on those because those are the ones that are selling. And whatever money they're losing on the Switch 2, they're trying to make it back with the Switch 1. So they're telling developers, just make it for the Switch 1. Make us money over there because the Switch 2... Honestly, I don't consider the Switch 2 a new console. I don't consider it a brand new console. It's more like a Switch Pro, really. It's more like a Switch Pro. I don't consider it a real console. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You know, and Nintendo knows they screwed up somehow. But anyways, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy in the Matrix. Godspeed.